So close. Those seem to be the words echoing in the ears of the returning student athletes on the 2006 Embry-Riddle women's cross-country roster. The ERAU women finished second at the 2003 and 2005 conference meets, and in 2006, there was talk of whether this would be the year.
Entering the season, I think we had a lot of question marks because we were pretty young that year. At the beginning of the season, I think that's kind of where we were, very hopeful that we could do something, feeling the pressure of trying to win a title when it had slipped through their fingers so many times.
Rossalino and his coaching team were up to the task of preparing the young Eagle squad for competition at the collegiate level, but the Eagles soon fell prey to the injury bug and without their full contingent for much of the season.
Laurel had missed the last two meets with an injury. Lori had missed the prior meet, I think, because of an injury as well. We had already lost Beth for the season. So I think there were some question marks going in that day with a little bit of nervousness of how would people react.
Despite the uncertainties, the Eagles awoke to a perfect day for racing on November 4th, 2006.
A pretty good day to run, and the course was perfectly flat, so we knew going in it was a pretty fast course and really should run some pretty good times.
The Eagles saw Warner Southern as the main obstacle to winning the conference crown.
We kind of knew going into the race it was going to be a really close race between us and Warner. That SCAD had some talent, but I think we had beaten them a couple of times, so we really weren't concerned with them, but it was really, who wanted it more between us and Warner is going to be a pretty close race.
Once the starter fired his gun and the race got underway, Rossalino and Hopfee positioned themselves at various points in the course to try and get a feel for how their team was faring. But through the first 2 miles, there was no clear-cut favorite between the Warner and Embry-Riddle teams.
At mile 1, there's no way you could tell who was going to win. It was us and Warner. We both had 5 people in the top 15, if not the top 10 to 12 at that point in the race. And it was pretty much a 2-team race with a couple of people from SCAD and 1 or 2 people from Weber, but in that top pack, that's pretty much who it was.
But on mile number 3, things changed.
Our women really stepped up in that last mile, and it was just exciting to watch because they just really took over the race. Mary and Lori, were in that pack of, that would have been the 3 through 8 people. I think they were about a pack of 5 or 6, and all of a sudden they took off from that pack, and they were, in 4th and 5th place behind Alex. And then Laurel, the same thing, was moving up. And then you kind of look back, and Jen Haight, Arabella, Francesca, everybody was picking people off left and right. And all of a sudden, we went from a race that we didn't know whether we'd win or lose to having 4 in the top 8, 5 in the top 11, and 7 in the top 18. It was just, really just incredible to watch the determination that they had in that last mile that said, we are going to win this, and then the excitement and elation afterwards when they knew they had won.
As they did all season, freshmen Alex Salinas and Mary Gatua were the Blue and Gold's number 1 and number 2 finishers, respectively. Salinas came in 3rd overall in 20:15.45, just 24 seconds ahead of Gatua, who was 4th in 20:39.56. Lori Costello took 5th in her best time of the year, while Laurel Cook and Jen Haight rounded out the Eagles' top 5. Salinas, Gatua, and Costello received all conference honors, and Cook joined the trio on the all-region team. The accomplishments of the 2006 squad marked the start of a dynasty for Embry-Riddle women's cross-country. Since then, the Eagles have won every conference meet and have competed at 6 straight NAIA National Championship meets.